So I do know that in the past you used to compose in a certain way, and then you had your process of creating music and composing, writing lyrics. I know that this has changed, and this album is it's first. So maybe you can talk us about the creation, the process behind.
Yeah, my process is really different. Since I started doing RKL beats, and I started producing more, I got more fit in terms of production and knowing the possibilities that I have with that.
Making.
Yes, the beat making and everything that is about production. And instead of like I used to do, like I write, I compose some chords, the melody, the lyrics, I do a little pre-production on my own, just for me to have a structure, and then I go with musicians and I said, okay guys, let's rehearse. I had this idea, blah blah blah. So it was more in direction to live music performance. This time is completely opposite. I just sat down in our home studio and I did everything. So instrument by instrument, sound by sound, beat by beat, everything. So I created from scratch, like with my keyboard, playing, all the ideas. And then, for example, when I required, like I wanted a real bass, then I called Jonathan and I said, listen, I wrote this bass line, or I had this, or I sampled that, or I took this, like whatever I decided to do. And then I said, can you please play that? Or I want to something more free. Like I was working with him. When he came to work with me, there was a pre-production done. So there was the structure, there was a chorus, it was everything done, but like more raw.
The composition was there,
yes.
But it was about...
Yes, even some details of sounds or whatever, but of course was a pre-production.
Yeah.
And for example, in terms of guitars, I work completely different this time.
I do know that you were very specific.
Yes.
So when you didn't call me, I live here with you. When you basically made me sit down and record the parts, she was very specific. So
yes, because it was a different approach. It was not like, for example, when we work on RKL beats and I tell you I need guitars here, it's like more, listen, this is the beat, these are the chords, this is the bass line,
do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. And then you record, you give me tracks, and then I am the one who says, okay, and then I cut here, I change that, I loop that. Or this is completely different. This is, I had really clear thoughts and sounds and what I wanted, and melodies and riffs and grooves. I mean, it was like I had it here, so it was really specific.
So I had to check my ego.
Yes.
Had to check my ego at the door.
Yes, like the documentary of
exactly
of the We Are the World. Yes, check the ego, because was a different process for you too.
It was.
Because you are not used to either.
It was maybe, I don't want to say less creative, but like I said, I had to check my ego at the door. But I did have to, recreate your vision, which is also a creative process in a way, and also a very fun process. Yeah, so.
Because also there were moments where you said, no, but this cannot go. I mean, do it. You will see. You trust the process. But it wasn't really interesting because what I had in my head, obviously, you couldn't still perceive it.
Yeah.
But once we recorded, then you said, okay, now it makes sense. But sometimes it just, I think it's like...
I had to let you lead the way.
Yes. But also it's like it's nice to do things that you normally wouldn't do.
True.
Because you create like another kind. This album, actually, it's my way of doing things out of my comfort zone. Everything. Because, for example, later on, I use strings. I was not afraid, but I was like insecure, like, I would like to use strings, but I don't have enough knowledge about strings arrangements. But I thought, no, I'm gonna sing. I sang on my head what I wanted to hear, and then I just put strings on the melodies, and it worked. Like it's nice. Like I liked it.
So you were talking about Jonathan, our bass player, Jonathan Ilenfeld Cunhado. Shout out to Jonathan.
Kiyo.
And I'm obviously on guitars.
And then also, because later on we will talk about the post-production process where I work with Carlos Ricaurte, friend of mine and also an amazing professional. And then, for example, in 2 songs, he also played bass at the end because we were not sure about leaving I did obviously a MIDI with a keyboard. I play the bass and stuff, and I was not sure. There is just 1 song that is played by me, but the rest, I thought, okay. And then he did the bass lines, and then we worked together. But we will talk later about post-production. But I just wanted to mention that he's also on some bass tracks.
Okay. So you talked us through the meaning of the album, also your process and your inspiration. And you said that you pre-produced it here in our home studio.
Well, I did pre,
and
pro,
post.
and post, and everything here.
But maybe talk about the post-production in more detail.
Okay, I work with Carlos Ricaurte. He's a friend of mine and a really nice professional. In fact, we met each other a really long time ago.
Back in the day.
In Spain. And then Life Universe and Life It's Amazing. And then we meet in...
You both ended up in rainy Cologne.
Yes. Anywho... yes, I talked with him and I said I would like to help me with the post-production and everything. So when he came, I already basically was the skeleton of the song was there. So structure, melody, chords, even some bass lines were also recorded already with Jonathan. So, and then with him, which also was a really nice process because I learned a lot, about post-production. And we were basically the details of, okay, this bass drum you chose, maybe what about this one, because maybe it has higher frequencies and then match better with whatever. So this was a really nice, interesting, fun process. I love to work with him. It was really nice. And yeah, it was about this, like cleaning everything that was not necessary to be there, and also getting everything ready for me later to record vocals, and also for you because you did it afterwards. Once everything skeleton was done, and then we clean everything, and then we add like the details and the break it down here, and then the pause here, and then I don't know, everything, the details. Then you recorded the guitars, and then we cleaned up the guitars, blah, blah, blah. And then was my turn. And I did it on my own. It was the first time that I was like, click, record, click, delete. No, I like it. No, I like, it was like, hard work because I was literally on my own, alone here, and deciding and what is this, and then all the backing layers, and thinking about it, and the harmonies, and also the
harmonies.
Fields I put like here. So yeah, it was a really fun process, I have to say, but it was a lot of work.
And in terms of mixing and mastering?
So, once I recorded all the vocals for all the tracks, obviously I chose what I wanted, and then we start the cleaning process, and then, all the post-production on the voice, like reverb here, and the mixing. And then the mixing, Carlos did the mixing of the whole album, and Stefan Hega did the master of the album. That was also really nice. I already worked with him for the Rakelicious album. And is a really, really nice guy, by the way. He also did the remaster for D'Angelo, by the way. Yes, so really nice guy.